Are you sure?
Yes, quite sure. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios, DC by Night, Vengeance Waits. I am, of course, the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
I am Relyn, Shanky's wife, and I play Lily Sanger, Toreador.
I'm Lance. I play Steve Perry, the Primogen of the Clanless.
I'm Luck, and I'm Clan Gangrel, and I play the Hound of DC.
I'm Jim. I play Quartermain, Sheriff of DC.
And, of course, we have another special guest player. I'll let her introduce herself.
I am Minta, and I will be playing Yekaterina Baranova, and, she comes from Europe, and she is a venture.
Our first European player.
Yes.
And first European kindred.
Uh-huh.
Though Anton...
Technically European.
Technically, but not, but yes, but not. So, where we left off last session was we had just had Waylon show up. He had done his announcements, of course, of the blood hunts and some messages about Glenn being allowed to live or to be unstaked. And in some ways that was a warning, but also a ray of hope in some ways as well. The politics these kindred play are dangerous. So in the nation's capital, it's even worse. We're going to tell a vampire story. I assume that Locke and Quartermain went back to Quartermain's Haven after Wayland had left.
Yeah, Luck's got to get her haven set up still.
Okay. Now, did you guys have anything you needed to talk to on the way, or is everything...
I think we actually talked on the way back already.
Yeah, make sure. I think everything was pretty well kosher caught up.
Yeah, we were caught up. Let me pull out my notes.
We'll put this way over here before I start playing with the mouse the whole episode. There we go. Because I'm bad at that. So while you're checking your notes about you two were pretty much done after Raylan left. Did either of you have something you needed to do that night before we go on to the next day?
How much time do we have?
Not too much. It was pretty late by the time Waylon left.
Okay, no, next day.
So, at this point, daylight comes. And with the day comes the sleep that comes over the dead. And you all spend, even you, Steve, spend daylight in the dreamless sleep of a kindred. And as the daylight sets and the dusk starts to come and you start to rouse a little bit, but once dusk is ended and night has come, you all wake from your slumber. Everybody make your rouse check for wisdom.
Already did. I passed.
Right.
Made it.
And what is Lily's hunger at?
3.
3 hunger. Well, beautiful.
I'm going to be munching on somebody tonight.
Yakarina, did you pass?
I am not fully sure because I got an empty spot and don't know what that means.
No, you go to 2 hunger.
You are now at 2 hunger.
Okay.
Don't worry, the beast doesn't talk to you on waking rouse checks, but the beast does like to talk other times. And I assume, Quartermain, you made your
that
rouse
means
check?
we don't get to see Lily squirm for this one.
Yeah, I assume you made your rouse check, Quartermain. You always do.
I did.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He's lucky with his dice. So, with the new day coming in, what is the kindred's plan for this particular day?
Well, I have a camera to put up.
Okay. To watch 1 or 2 camera. I assume to watch the Malik.
Right.
Okay.
I'm sure Q kind of told us where it seemed like he was, so I'll try to put it observing that perch.
Q, do you have anything you need me for today?
No. I'm going to go look.
Were you guys planning to brief the prince over what happened with the madam?
I don't need her for that.
No, you don't.
Because I need to talk to Steve.
Yeah, I'm going to go talk to the prince at some point, and I'm also going to be looking for a new office.
Okay. Somewhere that's not your haven and not the Succubus Club, so you have a dedicated office?
Yeah, just like Nathan used to have.
Yep, that's a good idea to have,
But
actually.
I'm not going to find his spot. I'm not going to go back to his place.
No, that one's way too compromised. And I know Yakarina is meeting with the prince at the moment. Right after she wakes, she went to go and present herself to the prince. Lily, what were your plans?
If Steve is discussing with me his plans to put up the cameras, I'm going to make recommendation that they go on the corners of the roof so that they angle to catch the various perches around our roof.
Okay.
Okay. And while we're talking about that,
Yeah.
there's one thing I wanted to bring up with you. Want to talk to you about the Primogen Council that we just
Okay.
had, because you're a lot more politically astute than Steve.
Okay, let's go for it. Let's have that conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let y'all do your conversation real quick.
Okay.
Because I know what y'all need to discuss here. Got an idea at least.
Okay. Well, you probably saw a whole lot more than I did. This is my first political encounter
Okay.
with the Primogen, and I'm sure I missed something.
Okay. What sort of things do you think you might have missed?
I wasn't really paying that close attention to the interplay between the other Primogen council members.
Okay, so when we sat in, when you are in a Primogen Council meeting, something you want to pay attention to is who arrives first, who arrives last, and the order in which people arrive in between. That says a lot about their opinions on the role they have, and also who tends to show more leadership and less.
Okay.
Okay. So you had Felix show up first.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks he's true to his clan. He's self-important, and then you had Cone,
Mm-hmm.
and then Granger.
Right.
Granger did it as a slight to everyone else in the room. Okay.
Okay.
That him coming was just a waste of his time.
Right.
Is basically what he projected with that. The interplay that they had going on, I could already see factions forming. There is a faction between the Ventru Primogen and the Tremere Primogen. Because they both brought up the same stuff. So they're working together.
Right. Okay.
Okay? And that's all we really see so far, because Granger nobody's going to work with. You never have
Right.
to worry about him working with anybody.
Not long term.
Not long
I
term.
can't see it.
Right.
No, can't see it because he's just an asshole to everybody. But yeah, so they were trying to pull me into the faction,
Mhm.
but I held back and stayed neutral and tried to maintain peace within the meeting.
Okay.
Oh.
I can see that.
Yeah. You did well for your first meeting because you kept your mouth shut and observed.
Okay.
Okay. You may want to do that for your next few meetings.
Got it.
Observe, pay attention to the interplay between the other people. Okay.
Okay.
And feel free to ask me about it. I'm happy to educate you on the inner workings of council politics. But at some point, you're going to have to know enough to do it yourself
Right. Yeah.
because we have our own agendas.
Oh, sure.
So, okay.
Loud. About 20
Um,
minutes after you get up and are moving around, you get a text from Tabitha.
Yeah, I have to meet Tabitha. I completely forgot. I'm like, I need to change plans.
And
What is
Tabitha
the
sends you a
text?
text and says she'll be at Purgatory at 11:30.
Okay. So there's technically enough time for me to still talk to Steve.
Yep, there's enough
All right.
time, but she will be at Purgatory at 11:30.
Yeah.
Quartermain,
Yes.
are you going to the Prince first, or are you going to go to the Prince by taking the long way so you can scout out sewers for a Nathan type office?
I will go the long way.
Okay.
Now, I have another question. Have I gotten a call back from my cop contact about the health and welfare check?
Yes, you have a voicemail for that.
Okay.
They went by. He's there. He was fine. He was kind of, shocked to see some of the boys in blue stopping in and checking after the riots. Nobody told him that it was a requested health and welfare. They just played it off as, they were just checking on some of the old retired cops in the area. And he was kind of touched that they were checking up on people.
Good.
So for you, if you're going to be looking on your trip, I mean, I'll be honest, you know the sewers well enough at this point that I'm not going to make you roll to look for a suitable location. The real question is, where do you want to have it located? If you want it in the domain that was granted to your coterie, which is DuPont Circle, and actually Locke now has a portion of domain around Purgatory, which is out of Morgan, those two you won't need the prince's permission to set up your office area. Any others, and you'll at least want to let the prince know that you're setting it up so that someone doesn't think you're encroaching, though you're the sheriff. And I mean, what are they going to do about it? It's something to think on.
I want one that's fairly difficult to get to for normal kindred.
Okay.
I mean, I want the Nosk to be able to get to it easily, and Blood Liquor. Yeah, I'll for now I'll find something inside the DuPont Circle domain.
Okay, because I mean, a 2-block radius around the club is actually
It's actually
quite
a large domain.
Yeah, there's a lot of sewers
Yeah.
for you there.
Yeah.
And underground, up and down, there's a lot of distance.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
So-
Yes, there is. One place that would match what you're looking for is you could try to get one instead of off the sewers out of the steam tunnels, because unless you're Nosferatu, that maze of damn steam tunnels is difficult to navigate.
You think Blood Liquor would have any problem with that?
I'm sure she could smell a path through there. It's
Okay.
Blood Liquor.
Then I think I would go for the steam tunnels then.
Try to find one off the steam tunnels, a nice little area. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and if Lily ever decides to come and visit, she won't get her shoes dirty.
I appreciate that.
But she will
Thank
get
you.
her hair wet and limp from
It'll-
the humidity in the
I'll make sure
I
it's
can-
tied up.
Hey,
It's
I
fine.
can only do so much.
That's okay.
Granted.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Quarterman.
Also get a shower on the way.
Yeah, exactly.
However, well, it doesn't matter. I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that when the time comes.
So Katie's heading over to the club to meet with Steve. Yakarina is talking. Say your name again. I'm telling you, I'm going to try to remember it.
Yekaterina.
Yekaterina. There you go. I'm bad with words in general, actually. Yekaterina is still meeting with the prince. Quartermain is on his way checking out potential areas. You're setting up cameras, and Lily is supervising your cameras.
No, actually, I'm not.
Okay.
I am checking the news
Okay.
to see what the status of the city is.
Okay.
Because Mama's hungry and she needs to go hunt.
Yep. And what day is the 8th? Was a. Don't have my calendar handy.
I think it's a Tuesday.
I think so too, but I can double check. Let me check our date because I don't want to have us on the wrong day because, well, we don't want to be screwing up the dates in this game.
Problem is
She'll
we're
check
we're going back
to 2018.
2018.
That's correct.
So I'm like having to scroll way back.
No, I can
now.
do it on a computer. See, there's
I
the
got
advantage
it.
of my computer. I know. The wife was actually hoping that
No,
sometime-
July
Type the date. Just type
8th
the
is
date
a
into
Sunday.
Google.
It's a
It's
Sunday.
a Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I might be able to find a bar open or something.
not much yet, but it's getting there. You always got your guards if you need to. Because it's a Sunday and they still haven't announced it, but the news is suggesting by midweek it will be.
Oh,
Everything will be open back up for everybody.
Okay.
So, okay, Locke, it's pretty easy for you to get over to the club. When you get there, I assume you're taking just the whole sewer access?
Yeah.
Okay, well then when you first get there, you don't see Steve anywhere.
I put on my headset. I'm like, Locke is here.
Hey, Locke.
Hey, got a sec?
Sure.
Cool. Where are you?
I'm up on top of the building, putting in some cameras. Come on up.
Okay. When you're done with that, conference room?
Sure. All right.
Oh.
Shouldn't be too long.
No,
Okay.
because it's just for a temporary setup. It's pretty quick. You're gonna have to take a lot longer when you redo the cable
Sure.
to run it as a more permanent fixture. But
Just to
I
get
mean, just to
something
get
going
it
now.
right now, just so you get eyes, is important. Okay, so I mean, it takes you just a little bit longer because you've been working on it since you basically woke up and talked to Lily. You had extra cameras on hand. That's one
Right.
thing you know to do with this crew. So if you want to do your meeting in the conference room, you can go ahead. Lily, while he's doing that, what are you doing?
I am checking my email because the previous
About a club?
about a building.
Yeah. Your lawyer's checking into it. He sees some,
No list of properties yet.
not yet, but he's
Okay.
got several potentials that he's looking into that haven't come up for listings yet. That he knows some people who know some people that might.
Yeah, he's got
be
the
trying to get
early
rid
in
of
on
it.
the market.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, they may be in a position they need to get rid of it
Okay.
because they can't afford to repair it.
Okay. I do let him know to limit it to the DuPont Circle area,
Okay.
but at least a couple blocks away from my club.
Okay. Well, you can only go 2 blocks. In either
That's what a
direction, but
couple
yeah.
blocks away, basically
Put it on the edge of
urge.
your domain.
On the edge,
Okay.
yeah.
So you two can do your conversation in the conference room.
And when you get there, Locke is just kind of sitting there looking pensive.
That's a
It's a big
It's
word.
a new look.
yeah.
So hey,
Hey, Locke.
so mother,
Oh yes.
I'd kind of assumed I was free. I was just kind of free and clear of this with the whole
She
didn't dust a fucker.
she still has strings attached to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was actually mentioned, I believe, when we visited the madam.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. So, I don't know, since you and I are apparently on the same team, what to do about this? Holy shit. Sorry, part of the club just fell apart. I think you need to check your cameras, dude.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. So, what? I mean...
So far, I haven't had a conversation with her.
Really?
Yes, she hasn't spoken.
She's lying to me.
You can roll for Locke. I know it's going to be wits plus insight.
Hey, that's 3 whole dice.
And Steve,
Mm-hmm.
yours is going to be composure plus subterfuge.
Which is nothing.
Well, you got some composure, I know.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to have composure.
I do have 3 composure.
Well, there you go. And include your blood dice to that one. And let's see. It's going to be funny when he bestial fails rolling to lie to you.
That's not going to be funny.
Oh, it will be amusing.
1.
Okay?
2.
Are you lying to her?
No, not really.
Yes, you are. She did speak to you. You just didn't speak back. You didn't hold it. You know he's being partially truthful.
Okay. Cool.
You suck
if
at lying.
Yeah.
If I can give you any advice,
Please do.
don't respond, but it may not matter. And Mother's going to offer you things if she hasn't already. And she looks very pointedly at the ring.
What's your hunger? 2?
No, I'm at 1.
You're at 1 hunger? Okay. What's your resolve? 2?
Resolve is 2, yes.
As you're talking to him and you say, don't do anything, his eyes turn black briefly. Go to
That's
the
a
pitch
look.
black and then returns right back to normal.
Hey, that's a look.
What do you mean?
Your eyes turn black.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I didn't see that.
Well, no, they're your fucking eyes. That's how they work.
Steve, the smart ass.
Low-key smartass all the time. I love it.
God. So, I
But-
think that...
Literally, I didn't see anything. Nothing
No.
showed up.
You did briefly see a ghost walk through the wall.
Okay.
Briefly. It was Marissa's ghost, briefly.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Whose ghost?
Marissa, former prince of D.C., the one that
The Tremere Prince.
the
that
Tremere
Vital
prince that
killed.
shouldn't have a ghost. You did see her briefly.
Okay. Was she oblivious to our
She just went
presence,
through
or-
a wall as you, about the same time Locke mentioned your eyes went black.
Okay. Well,
Do
maybe
you
they did.
mention this to Locke?
What's that? I'm
Do
sorry.
you mention this to Locke?
Yes, I will.
Which way did she go?
She walked through the conference room over towards Lily's office.
And Locke pops up, and she heads over to Lily's office.
The door to her office is locked. Lily keeps it locked if she's not in it. Is Lily in it?
Yeah, Lily's in it.
Okay, so I guess it would be unlocked, or yeah, it'd be unlocked because
It'd
you're
be
in
unlocked because I'm in
it. So
it.
yeah, you open up and Lily's at her desk.
And I just raise a brow and like, what's up?
You cool?
What?
Steve saw a ghost just come through here,
Oh,
You
interesting.
didn't see one.
and
You rolled for it.
closes the door
Well, yeah,
behind
'cause
her.
wits.
And she's like,
I rolled for the passive check, not you actively searching.
I'm actively searching.
Okay, now you can roll then. But at first I had to roll for the passive.
It's
see?
wits aspects.
Yes, wits aspects.
Okay.
Yep.
4, 5, 6.
6.
Yeah.
You don't see anything in here now.
I
it
don't
was
see anything.
It was Marissa's ghost.
Again, I've seen her twice.
Yeah, except here.
Yeah,
not,
I
like,
saw her in the
chilling on a
conference
street
room the
corner.
other day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I know.
I hope she's not a spy ghost. Can there be spy ghosts?
I don't know. That's a good question.
And Locke
I'm
will-
expecting the Pontifex anytime. I'll ask him that question.
Mhm.
He may know
And-
something about that.
Quartermain has. Quartermain's not in his library, but Locke will make a mental note to ask him later.
Okay.
Because he knows stuff.
Because
Because
I look at Locke and say, considering what the madam's capable of, I'm sure that can be done. But I'd like
And
to
don't
get
we-
confirmation.
Don't we have at least one person who can do things with ghosts, right?
She was really
Captain
Your
muffled.
microphone.
No, the other
Your,
one.
mic- your microphone went weird.
yeah,
Yeah.
you cut out for a
Okay.
second there.
We have at least one Percy,
Yeah.
who can fuck with ghosts.
Yeah, the Giovanni that's in the
Yeah.
Arlington National Cemetery.
So interesting. We'll have to look into spy ghosts, or maybe she's just, maybe she likes the club. I don't know.
It's just more weird shit.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little fed up with it.
You're a fucking vampire, for God's sakes.
You're not here.
But weird shit is. There's a reason she's getting tired of the weird shit.
Yeah.
But her
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So you're
I
gonna
just-
you'll ask Quartermain to look in his library.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll talk to
All
the Pontifex. I'm expecting him by some night soon. So
Yeah.
So if I follow,
Locke goes back to Steve
okay.
to finish the conversation.
okay.
And she closes the door and she's like, I think to survive this, we may need to establish an information sharing plan where we do not bullshit each other.
Wow, Locke has grown up a lot.
Yes, she has.
So if you want to survive this, you may want to consider it.
I'll consider it.
Okay, fine.
You're mine. That's what you hear in your head, Steve.
So,
I just kind
all
of
right.
say inside, yes. But you didn't hear that.
Yep.
No, I didn't. But disappointed in Gangrel.
Disappointed in Toreador too.
So
Not disappointed
Locke-
in Storyteller.
So that's fine. Just keep it in mind. We may need to share information, especially if she starts asking you to do tasks. And you know the things not to say, correct?
Well, I'm pretty bad at not saying.
Yeah, I noticed. So I messed up too. No shade, tiny shade. But you need to really focus on the not saying of certain things.
Okay. Oh, I agree. But since information goes two ways, tell me what you know about her. I mean, has she talked to you?
Yes. And I will share with you because I'm not an asshole and I want to live.
Shade.
That's no shade at all.
She offered me a family.
What kind of family?
That was not clear. There was us that was said, and I don't know who's included in us. That was not, details were not communicated. So, and I have ideas, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe she means all the people that got the black eyes thing going.
Well, I haven't seen you with black eyes yet.
Oh no, I had that happen.
Yeah, you didn't notice it during the riots. That was
Right. Well,
you weren't in
I
a
hadn't seen
position
it.
to have seen it, right? The only ones who saw it, I think, was Lily and Quartermain.
Mhm.
Saw her eyes go black, not Steve.
Yeah, so that was the thing.
But from what you were
So-
described, it's not the same as the way his eyes turned black. His were
Interesting.
different.
Huh.
His turned closer to what you saw Victoria do at various points.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, she'll share that.
Hmm.
You're different. You're different, black eyes. Maybe just because you're kite teeth.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe because it didn't stick. No, no
'Cause
shame
it
there.
didn't stick.
But maybe some things interact differently with your stuff that you have going on.
That could be.
Yeah.
More.
But I don't know about spooky shit. I can only guess. Wild mess of guessing. So, I have to go to purgatory now. So.
Okay, as you leave for Purgatory,
mhm.
done with the prince has told you, I'm going to get it right eventually.
Ekaterina.
Yekaterina. No? Close? I know.
Good.
Steve Perry over here is laughing at me because I bet you he's much better at pronouncing it than I am because, well, he's also the one who was much better at talking to me in Russian because I don't know any Russian. So I just know one word. The princess told you to go to the Succubus Club.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to give you the location of Quartermain's Haven, but he did tell you to go to the Succubus Club, and he would make sure that Quartermain is sent that way at some point tonight. He figures that you could at least go over there and meet with the rest of that particular coterie, considering why you were sent to the States.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Very well. So, sorry.
no, go ahead. He was
No,
giving
I
you.
just
He did
wanted
give
to
you
say
directions.
Yeah, good. Because, well, I hope, first of all, that my ghoul, Sasha, has rented a car while I was at the Prince, because I would have asked him to get me some sort of, this year release Lexus Black, the way I like it. He knows how I like it. And yes, so then I would immediately just go to him after the meeting with the prince, and I would go to Succubus Clubs since, I want to go straight to business as soon as I can.
Okay, so you're on the route to the Succubus Club. Quartermain, as you arrive to the prince's, I don't want to say lair, we'll just say throne room, court. When you arrive there, you do see a black Lexus leaving the parking garage as you arrive. From where you suspect is near where the entrance to get into the prince's court area. As you go up to the door, of course, it's unlocked, and you open it up, and there's that one guard that always seems to be sitting there, just waiting. He looks at you and just tips his head towards the elevator.
Hey, Bill.
Yes.
No, that's what I'm going to call him.
Okay, Bill's his name. Okay, Bill's his name.
I just call him Bill. Hey, Bill.
No, we can make him Bill too.
His name may be Jonathan, but I'm going to call him Bill.
You gonna call him Bill? He just flips his head. Maybe you catch a little bit of muttering about busy night. And you step into the elevator, of course, and do the ride down. When you get to the bottom, the elevator opens, and Glenn is there in the antechamber, we'll say, with his chainsaw. grinning. And when you come in the room, you see him pointing at the chainsaw handle to you.
He put the ring on the handle.
He put the ring on the handle like he told you he would.
Very nice, Glenn.
Yeah,
How you doing tonight?
It's busy. Some old world European thing. Venture came in here a little while ago. She just left.
Really?
Yeah, I was kicked out of the room. Didn't get to do anything. I had to sit out here the whole time. But Prince met with her.
Sorry to hear that.
You know, I mean, I didn't really care. I'm just waiting until I can not sit in this room all the time and go about my business.
Mm-hmm.
I think Prince is bringing some of his ghouls in to take over this duty for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that'd be good. It'd be nice to have you freed up because I'm hoping to rebuild the network.
Yeah. I'm getting stir crazy. First I get staked, and I'm come out of stake, and now I'm stuck in here. And give me another couple weeks of this, and I'll end up like George. Just all addle-brained, it just.
Yeah.
But his
You'll be fine.
high muckety muck is in his room over there. Same as always sitting in his chair.
All right.
And
Have a good night.
Glenn opens the door for you, and as you open, yep, there's Stanford, impeccably dressed as always on his high-backed chair. You wonder if he even leaves it all day long, or whether he just sits there basking in his princedom at this point.
Right.
It's hard to tell because every time you've come in, he's been sitting in that
Is
chair.
there anybody else? Is there anybody else in the room?
Nobody else is in the room tonight.
Okay.
You don't see
So
Karina.
I just walk in and say, "Hey, boss."
Yeah. Good evening, Quartermain. And how are you?
Oh, I'm alive.
Well, you're not. But I get the gist. What can I do for you, Sheriff?
We got summoned to the madam yesterday.
She didn't want her book back, did she?
Yes, she did.
You didn't bring it to her, did you?
Yes, I did.
But I wanted that book.
I have a copy.
Oh. Smart.
It took a lot of work.
I bet. But thank you. Good idea, because I may have need of that book soon. I'm nervous when an influential European kindred comes to town.
Yeah, what's up with that?
It's a Ventru. You'll be meeting her later. Trust me.
Oh, really?
She
And
was
why
sent.
would I be meeting with the pretty ones?
She was sent by your sire to check
What?
up on you.
I don't need any checking up on.
Well, you'll have to tell her that because
Um,
she is paying her boon.
last I checked, I am my own vampire.
That you are, but I am not going to deny her visitation to this city. She is influential. She is connected. And in this state, I will not rock the boat.
Oh, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm more bitching about the situation as it pertains to me.
Well, you can handle in that way how you wish, but
Oh, I will. I will.
for the time being, she can stay in my domain as long as she wishes.
Just so you know, I'm setting up a new office.
Good idea, because I couldn't send her to your haven to visit you. She's heading to the Succubus Club.
Right.
She's been
It'll
told
be-
you'll be sent that way to meet with her, just to
It'll be a little
satisfy the
time.
boons.
It'll be a little time, but I'll let you know somehow where it's located.
If you end up setting it up in someone's domain or not sure if it's someone's domain, let me know. And I will most likely grant you at least your office, even if it is in another domain. You're the sheriff,
Okay.
after all. You should be able to set an office where you feel it should be. But it will not give you hunting rights, of course, over where your office is located.
I'm not concerned about that. I was planning somewhere underneath DuPont Circle, so
Keeps you close to the rest of your coterie. And
Yeah.
now that the Hound is over in Adams Morgan, that's not far from DuPont Circle either.
yeah.
So, what did the madam have to say? I'll be honest, I do not visit her.
Yeah. Well, we found out that there's 3 Methuselahs in the city.
You've told me of one, so
The madam herself,
Well, we've suspected one is controlling Chaz.
and the madam herself.
I've long suspected she is an elder of extreme power, so it would not surprise me.
She talked about the three of them who battle, or some such
I
nonsense.
don't need a war between elders in my city.
Yeah.
I can't touch her in her tower. It's been tried. She is, for all purposes, as unassailable as Dorian is. As long as she stays in her tower and he stays in his castle, neither one can be touched. I wouldn't even put money that Anton could get in there, or Art, if Dorian didn't want to let them in. Much the same with the Madam's Tower.
Yeah. Also wanted to warn you, we might have a problem with our...
I met with him yesterday.
Yeah,
It was
well,
interesting.
his conditioning is breaking.
Oh, yes, when he came by last night. It was quite obvious, actually. It was rather amusing.
He's returning to the old art.
Yes, he is. I might have a use for him. Having someone like Xavier, or close to Xavier's personality in the city, could be useful. Because unlike his brother, who was the hothead, Art has never been anything but loyal to the Camarilla.
Yeah.
So he could be useful.
Well, hopefully you can get him under wraps.
Him and I had a nice long talk tonight, and he was heading out to Dorian's tonight to discuss things. But he's going to find Dorian's method of fixing his personality doesn't really work anymore.
How...
Dorian and I have an arrangement of sorts.
Ah.
Let's
Got
just
it.
say I prefer to have Art become something other than he was.
Did you set that in motion?
No, I did not actually, but
You didn't send the mortal hit.
no. But once I saw an opportunity,
I see. Interesting.
Esmeralda and I talked quite a bit. And as the go-between,
Remind me who Esmeralda is.
that is Dorian's so-called daughter. That's actually Velois's daughter. Supposedly, Clan Lasombra.
Okay. Daughter comes in different terms. Actual
Dorian
blood
refers to
daughter
her as his
or-
daughter.
No, hold on. Time out. She's a Lasombra.
That's what was announced at Elysium, yes.
Okay.
From the previous meeting with Dorian had a message to pass to Velois, which Lily did pass, that your daughter still serves me.
Don't,
That is the daughter, not real. It's not a real daughter for Dorian's part, for sure. She does have Velois's last name. She was announced as Esmeralda Sang.
So his actual genetic daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Serves
Thank you.
Dorian.
You gave me more information than I wanted, and you got me at the very end.
There you go.
Okay, good.
That was all the coronation episode, pretty much.
I don't.
I know you don't remember.
Okay. No, I do. I remember.
Yep. So,
Okay. So, yeah, I don't really have anything else, so I'll just.
I suggest you head to the Succubus Club to meet with this kindred. I would be upset if she reported to those in Europe and of the tower that I refused to, honor a boon that brought her here. So at least meet with her. What you do after meeting with her is your decision, of course, but I don't want it said my sheriff refused to meet with an emissary from overseas.
Sure thing, boss.
Have
All
a good
right.
night, Quartermain, Sheriff.
Good night.
And as you go out of his audience chamber, of course, there's Glenn again. And he's polishing the ring that's on this chainsaw. Because the chainsaw slings a lot of oil every time he cranks it up. Now, you're pretty sure, because you don't smell gasoline mix in that and exhaust in the antechamber, he's not been allowed to fire it up in there. But he wants to crank that chainsaw up. So, Locke, you have a meeting with Tabitha coming shortly. But first, let's, because it's not quite 11:30 yet. Lily,
I need to hunt. I need to feed.
Okay. You're going to feed off one of your guards, I assume? 'Cause
I'm going to
there's
have to if there's no one else
no
available.
one open, especially not Sunday. Which guard do you wish to feed from? You can pull one off of... Actually, you've got 4 ghouls. You can pull one off of 2 of them.
I'm not pulling off my ghouls.
Why not? They heal faster than the humans do.
They're also more effective than the humans.
True. One dot off of one off of another shouldn't be enough to impact them too much.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Because they are your guards, of course, and that's what they're...
Yeah, I'll do that.
It's not even
then.
a question. They easily volunteer to be munched on.
I'll do one off of Jeff and one off of Thomas.
Off of Thomas? Okay.
Mhm.
1 blood off of them, considering they're ghouls, it doesn't really affect them that much at all, honestly.
Okay.
As you're doing that, you hear Ian, ma'am,
Yes.
Black Lexus just pulled up out front.
People really need to announce when they're coming when I'm closed.
No, I agree.
Okay. Get somebody to meet whoever it is at the door.
Okay. And Thomas actually goes down and to answer the door. He's not staggering in 1 blood isn't much.
Okay.
And as you pull up to the Succubus Club, it is everything you'd expect from the namesake. It is a large, imposing building. The lights are off right now. They're not lit up, but you can see when it's lit up, it's lit up. Predominantly announcing Succubus Club DC. It's in a nice prime location. You can see that it's right in the middle of a vibrant hive of bars, nightclubs.
It's
And-
in the circle. The
right.
circle is right across the
Right.
street.
It is definitely placed in a key position. And as you get out of the vehicle, actually you see a door open and there's a tall man standing there. He's got a little bit of a beard going in there because she lets him grow it out a bit. And he just watches you as you get out of your vehicle. I assume you have your ghoul open the door for you to let you out?
Absolutely. And then I would straight go to the man.
Can I help
And before even he speaks, actually, I would say, I am Ms. Baranova, and I have been sent here by the highest authorities. Please inform, I believe, Miss Sander.
Ma'am,
Yes.
somebody has been sent here by the highest of authorities to meet with you?
Okay, escort the person up to the conference room.
Yes, ma'am. Right this way, of course. And he opens the door for you. Do you have your ghoul follow?
No, I asked him to wait in the car.
And as you're coming in, the guy who opened the door says, if you don't want to set up in the street, you can pull around back
Garage.
up to the garage, and we will open the door to the garage, and you can park in the garage or park in front of the garage if you wish. I wouldn't stay parked on the street right now because of the issues that have gone on in the city. And that might attract some attention you may not want.
I would just wave to Sasha because, he should make the decision.
Okay.
I shouldn't bother myself with that.
Okay. So as you go in, you hear the car starting to move. Go move it out back. Take the advice of the ones who know the area. And you're led up to... You come in the building, and it's a big nightclub. an obvious nightclub. And you're brought in through a set of doors, the VIP entrance, and it leads to, there's a spiral staircase. But he actually walks you over to the elevator and uses a key fob to take you straight to the 3rd floor of the club. And when you come out, he walks you over to a door, and the sign on the door says conference room. But when he opens the door, it's not really what you would call a conference room. It's more of a extended lounge. Is Lily already in there?
No.
Okay. And he motions to one of the couches and chairs and says, just have a seat. Miss Lily will be here shortly. And then he steps outside the door, closes it, but you can hear he didn't. He pulled the door closed from beside the door, like he wasn't moving.
Okay.
Ma'am, she's in the conference room.
Okay, thank you. And I can finish up what I'm doing in my office and head over.
Okay. And as you open up the door, I will get the description because this is a woman you've never met.
No.
So go ahead and describe yourself and let her know, and it's your scene.
So when you go in, Ekaterina immediately would rise to her feet. She is quite tall. She has black hair to her shoulders, and she's wearing a black dress. The fabric is just flawless. You can't find even the tiniest wrinkle. She also wears those, fancy black heels, with the red back, informing basically that this is some sort of a designer brand,
Very expensive shoes.
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, exactly. And, same goes for the jewelry, things like that. She has quite, heavy makeup on, but it also kind of like very fitting for her. And she doesn't have long nails, but they are nicely done as well when she would extend her hand to you.
Okay. And what you see walking into the room is a short, curvy kindred with black hair with white streaks in the front. And she is well made up. She's wearing a knee-length cocktail dress and high heels. So while she is not your height, she's able to still look you in the eye. And she reaches out and takes your hand and says, Lily Sanger, good evening.
Good evening. I was quite excited to meet you when I learned that, you run a succubus club as well. So many people are talking about you. Within just a couple of hours, I've been in here. I am Miss Baranova.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Baranova. What can I do for you?
Well, I must say that I was not exactly sure during my conversation with the prince, but I believe he has sent me here knowing that, one of your puppies may go and fetch me the man named Quatermain.
Oh, darling. Okay, so, certainly, is there anything I can do to make you more comfortable while you await him?
Well, depends. Do you have very high quality beverages in here?
Sadly, we are closed tonight, so we do not have that available this evening. But I'm certain we can make some calls and find out where you can find that.
Well, then let's leave it aside. I will just sit in here and wait, I guess.
Okay, thank you so much. I will make sure that I will get the guys to find where Quatermain is and request he come.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. And I walk out.
Okay.
Because she definitely said some things that clued me in that I am not telling her jack shit.
And there's a certain air of command about her that...
That I'm just like, I'm just going to walk right out this room.
Okay. So, what are you planning to do? You're going to...
I'm actually, once I step out of the room and can use my phone,
Okay.
I send a text to Quatermain. Got a visitor here for you.
Oh, where?
Okay.
Okay, Locke. You are at Purgatory. I assume you're waiting inside. It's your bar now.
Uh-huh.
As you're waiting inside, about 11:30, the back door opens and in comes Tabitha. You didn't hear a vehicle pull up or anything. Obviously, she must be on foot. And she comes in alone.
No puppy?
No, she's outside. You want me to bring him in? Bjorn
If
didn't
you
like the
want.
puppy. Bjorn didn't like him in here.
Oh, I mean, no, it's fine. You can have a puppy in here. We'll make this a puppy appropriate zone.
Okay,
It
and
seems
so she opens the door back up, and in comes, puppy's a generous term, a good-sized wolf. That you're still not quite sure how she manages to slink around the city without the wolf being seen, but judging by his paws, you suspect the wolf spends a bit of time down in the sewer areas instead of walking on the streets.
And wolves have a serious stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Out of character.
Yep. She's like, Deb's like, Art's over at Dorian's tonight, so, I mean, you said you wanted to talk.
Yeah. Why don't we have a seat?
She gets a worried look on her face, like,
There's.
she
You're
goes and
not
sits at the
trouble.
same seat you saw her sitting at the first time you came to Purgatory.
All right.
Same little booth in the back.
Okay. Yeah, she'll sit across from her.
Should I be worried?
Yeah. Tell me your thoughts on what you think happened to Melissa.
Face hardens a bit, and you can see almost a snarl start to quirk up its side. I think that bitch killed her.
Okay, good. I'm glad I didn't have to break that.
And Hart's being a shithead. And he doesn't care.
Yeah. You know what happened to him, right?
What do you mean? I know he's Art. I know.
It wasn't always Art.
Well, I've heard, but he's never told me details, and I've heard the way people talk to him and they look at him, especially older kindred that weren't from DC. I've never understood the look of fear because he's just a giant teddy bear.
Okay. You get that, those two things wouldn't go together. People being scared of him, but also being a teddy bear.
No, I just thought, it was because of his brother.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong on that. But it's not just because of his brother.
I'm not going to like this, am I?
No.
I mean, he's being a shit right now, but...
There's a reason for that. From what I've gathered, he chose to have a thing done to him to make him a teddy bear.
Wait. What do you mean chose to have a thing done?
I mean, it's like therapy, which is good. But I think what we're witnessing is a backslide.
So, you're telling me that the Art I love and have been with for 2-3 decades is not real? It's all been a lie?
Well, I mean, people change. I mean, it's kind of like rehab. People are different when rehab sticks, and they're different when rehab stops sticking. When they backslide. I mean, when you were kind, you must have seen this. People that get off the shit and then they get back on.
I watched you do it.
She just kind of looks down at that.
But I don't know what to do then, because I mean, I know I can't take that bitch, and if she hurt Melissa, she needs to die. But
we live a long time. doesn't have to happen tonight. I wouldn't
But
recommend
I've lost
it happen.
Melissa. Now you're telling me I'm going to lose Art. I mean, excuse me for saying this, but I just got you. Am I going to lose you now too?
No, I mean, I'm planning on not, going anywhere.
But it's
We all lose.
it's Dorian who did it to him, isn't it?
Who else could it be?
He never was straightforward about why he kept going to visit Dorian all the time.
Yeah, probably for a reason.
I don't know what to
You
do.
need to You need to protect yourself. There's not many of us in the city.
I'm not scared of Art. I don't care what he becomes. I'm not scared of Art. I know somewhere in there he is the man that fell in love with me. He wouldn't kill me.
No, I mean,
Would he?
but remember remember when we had our little talk in the club?
Yeah.
What were you scared of then?
Him finding out, being disappointed.
No. I have the recording of that. You were scared he was gonna dust you.
And her eyes look away from you when you say it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry people change.
And this is all because he tried to save me. Because I wouldn't defend myself.
Why wouldn't you defend yourself? They're kind. I
No,
mean,
but
I'm not
you
saying
don't
go through and
understand.
like rip them apart.
You don't understand. About 20 years ago, it was right at the start of this Sabbat wars that were going on. And the fights, it was right after Vitel was gone. Velvet, Bjorn, and I, we were determined not to let the Sabbat take over. And then one night I'm walking home and I found an orphanage. And the orphanage, the front door was open and I could hear her sobbing and crying inside. So I went inside and someone had turned all the children in that place, embraced them all at once, put a Sabbat symbol on the floor.
Out of character.
And yes,
Steve, did you ever tell us what you saw?
Yes.
I did.
And Locke just kind of, she has a look on her face like, oh, like she put something together.
Like it clicked.
It clicked.
I killed them
Huh.
all. They didn't know. They shouldn't have been made, and I couldn't let them endure like they were. They had killed all the adults in the orphanage, feeding on them. And I couldn't let it continue. I killed them. All the kids. And
Yeah, I understand.
I think I broke that day. Something in me.
We live a long time. If you want to survive, you need to find peace with that. And I'm not
How
saying
do you
you
find
accept
peace
it.
with that?
I mean, I'm not saying you accept it. I'm not saying you think it was great and you find a way to excuse it. But it happened. It happened during the war. If it hadn't been you that did it, they would have. Who knows what they would have done?
And
They may have started turning.
Art gave me his, well, an up and down, and it shouldn't have happened, and you were just balancing it out. And Bjorn told me, good job.
I mean, that's all bullshit. It's fine to feel bad about it. It's fine, but you've had 20 years of feeling like shit about it. And if you want to survive, you've got to learn to be functional and feel bad about it.
tried. But you haven't had to kill 20 children like that. That's
No.
it's too much. And you can see she's starting to have a blood tear dripping down.
I want us both to survive this. That is what I've always done. I have survived. And I want you to survive this too, because there's just not many of us. And, you know,
You, me, Art, maybe Melissa, and Sabs.
wow. That was a tone. You don't like Sabrina?
Art's made it clear that he knew her in the past. And if what you're saying is the old Art knew her, and I'm losing the new Art, does that mean the old Art had a thing for her?
Look,
I
people
know
can have,
jealousy
like,
doesn't fit our kind, supposedly.
you can have like platonic relationships. Like that's a thing.
Here I am sitting here acting like a damn Toreador.
I mean, I don't know. The Toreador I know does not give a flying fuck about that kind of stuff.
I just... Okay, then you'd think I was
So-
Bruja. I'll watch my back.
Watch your back. Sorry, I just went real choppy for a sec.
I'll watch you. I'll watch my back, and I'll try not to start anything. I'll try not to start anything if I see Victoria.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Yeah. Please.
I'll try.
Because she's that. Even if you succeed, that starts a bigger thing.
I know what'll happen if I lose control around her.
So just avoid.
She'll kill me. If she can kill Melissa, she can kill me.
Oh yeah, she scares the piss out of me.
Hart acts like it's no thing. He don't care. And then Tabitha stands up and walks out of the just leaves. You can tell she's shaken and upset. And I think it's time for us to take a break on this scene. This is a pretty rough scene. Even as storyteller, it's rough. So we are going to go to break for about 10 minutes, and we'll be back and see everybody in 10 minutes.
Allow me to introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me Blood-sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of never offered. All my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, brick me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory. That sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, youthful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Elizabeth Bathory. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator who can't remain the prey, you have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you, or is it me? Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within. Do you burrow within? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive?
Restart.
There we go. And welcome back to DC by Night. Before the break, it was a pretty tense scene where the orphanage that Steve Perry ran into right before the riots, actually. You found out the source of it, what happened there. And you found out also, I think, in a lot of ways, why Tabitha has become what she is. She's not the bitter fighter she once was, I think, in a lot of ways. And it explains a lot. And her house of cards has started to crumble. She's lost Melissa. Art is being lost. It's interesting to see how that goes. And we're going to pick up pretty much right from there. Now, Quartermain, I assume, is on his way to the club. Locke, after Tabitha leaves, what is Locke wanting to do?
Locke goes back to the club because she needs to just share this piece of information.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Just because it seems interesting and it's something to know.
Okay. Now, Lily, you get a text.
Okay.
It's from a number that you don't recognize.
Okay. What does it say?
Mind if I pop in? Felix. Now, Steven, you knew, had your cell phone number.
So he would have passed it to
Right.
Felix. You know, that was not a man I wanted having my digits. So I look at the phone. I reply, sure, come on by. You can join the party.
And he replies, great, I'd like to meet your visitor.
Of course you would. I'll have the guys escort you up when you get here.
Okay. Locke and Quartermain arrive shortly after that text comes to you. I assume both of y'all are taking the sewer entrance?
Yep.
And you actually kind of run into each other right outside the door.
Hey, boss.
Hi.
How's it going?
Shitty.
Great, me too.
I have a visitor upstairs.
Really?
And he proceeds to climb up the ladder,
Okay.
throws the door open, puts the earpiece in, and says, "Daddy's home."
I have instructed my guards not to respond.
Okay. You get no response over the headset.
Locke puts on hers. Hey, it's Locke.
Hey, Locke.
And everyone welcomes
And Ian
Locke.
goes, "Hey, Miss Locke." Hey,
Fuck you, Ian.
I got orders. I'm just saying. I mean, I appreciate the ipecac because that was funny, but you know, I got orders. And then then you hear Thomas go, "Psst," and he gets quiet again. Ian doesn't forget that the ipecac you gave him. So, but yeah. Are you gonna tell him?
Oh yeah, I'd say, Quartermain, your visitors in the conference room.
And Steve, are you gonna
Great.
actually attend this
Looking
time?
forward
'Cause
to it.
I don't know. You know there's a visitor, but you've been strangely.
Well, we haven't been invited in.
Right.
Quartermain hasn't invited us to go in with him.
Q, you need me?
I don't know.
Well, I'll stay by the door.
Sure.
Chief.
I walk right in.
Okay. As you're walking in, you hear over the headset right before it cuts out, "Ma'am, that Felix LaRue guy is here. I assume that's the one you said you wanted me to escort off."
Yeah, actually, I'll go get him.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll go down and get him.
Okay. So we'll start off with.
Quartermain throws the door open, closes it behind him. "Hi. You wanted to see me."
Good
And he
evening.
matches the description that your sire gave you of him at Embrace.
All right. So I rise to my feet and I take a couple of steps forward and extend my hand to the man. "It's a pleasure to finally see you in flesh."
Is it? I take her hand.
And you can feel it's cold. But you knew that.
I don't know exactly who you are, so if you would be so kind.
I am Miss Baranova, Yekaterina Baranova, and I am here because Miss Schonberg asked me to come and take a look. I hear that you are a sheriff.
Yeah, that's what they tell me.
I see that you have chosen your priorities quite well.
How is that?
Well, I hope. Well, that might be actually my English, but I was meaning it to be sarcastic.
I see. So, what does my sire desire?
It's a question to you? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have been given this gift, this opportunity for a very specific reason, and as far as I know, well, nothing has been done that you would pay your debt to your sire.
I owe her a debt?
Are you
I
really?
owe her a debt?
Yes, you do.
Okay, we're going to cut real quick. When you come down to get Felix, and you see Felix, as you come open to the door, he meets up and he bows you.
Felix, pleasure to see you again.
"Lily, I am so sorry of the rather abrupt visitation here. I must apologize, of course."
I appreciate that. If I knew so many people would be stopping by tonight, I would have tried to make sure we were open.
Well, I do apologize, but I've heard there's a visitor that was
Indeed.
sent to your way of that might fall at least a little under my purvey.
Okay, let's go up and see her.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you're understanding of this. I
Of
really
course.
hate coming barely announced, but I couldn't. I still haven't even found
I
my
take his arm.
manservant to.
I take his arm. I pat his arm,
And he takes your arm and
and I just don't worry about it. I'll take you up to meet her.
okay.
And so I take him up in the
Okay,
elevator.
so we'll go back to. So you're going up the elevator. Go back to your scene.
Let me explain something. I have never met her. She turned to me and left. And then left me with some task that she wanted done, but I have seen nothing, hide nor hair of her since.
She doesn't have to report to you. It's
Well,
you who
guess
has
what?
to report to
I
your
am my own.
sire.
I am my own kindred now. So
No, you are not. Don't be
yes,
childish.
yes, I am.
Her
Yes, I
blood
am.
is running through your veins, and you will never be free. That's what a wise kindred would know.
Guess what? I don't care.
There's a knock
I
at the
see.
conference room door.
Yep.
Not now.
Felix looks at you and goes, "Really? So rude. So rude."
You see what I have to put up with.
I must ask your leave, of course. I hate to do this in your domain.
Pull rank. Yeah,
Well, yes, essentially.
go for it.
And the door opens, and in steps a tall, well-dressed man. Quarterman, you know it's Felix.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
He walks in, he looks at you, and then he looks at Katarina. I'm getting better at it. And I believe I know you. Well, yes, I've met you once.
Felix, do you mind?
Well,
Oh, no, no, no. Mr. LaRue, that's a pleasure to meet you again.
Okay,
it's been
I'm
a
gone.
long time.
I'm invisible and gone.
Okay. You know, I would say that the street rats have no manners, but of course my man did. It took time to teach them, but he had manners at least. You know, it's always troublesome in the colonies.
Yes, I understand. Actually, talking about the troubles, are you all right, Mr. LaRue? I am very concerned about your well-being.
Oh, I am fine. Of course, as always, I seem to have misplaced my manservant for now, but other than that, I'm sure you remember. Actually, no, you did not meet him.
I
Stephen,
think that maybe I actually met him. You know, when I was visiting the prince, there was this, I would say, of a very brutish exterior man standing there. But you know what actually left me so concerned?
what would that be?
Not your choice of the man's, you know, it's not very pleasant, but why would you ever let someone to carry your family sigil on their chainsaw? That's so disrespectful.
Felix kind of does a slight twitch. You're not. He holds up his finger and shows a matching signet. You wouldn't be referring to this, would you?
Oh, my dear, absolutely, I'm referring to this one. I would never forget it.
On a chainsaw. I apologize. I must see to some business. I hate being rude like this and leaving. Now, Quartermain, you didn't leave the room, did you?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Lily's right outside.
I must attend to some business. I do apologize for having to leave abruptly like this, of course, but
I'm
as
sure
the
we'll talk
primogen, we will
later.
talk again, of course, but do not feel I'm imposing on you. Your pedigree in our clan is quite known to me, so Rest assured, at your convenience, please pop in, and he hands you a card with with his location. It's basically a hotel. It says Hotel Washington, has a room number. At your convenience, of course. Pop in to see me at some point. I'd love to hear the latest news from the European courts. Of course, I've been in the States for 5, 6 decades now. But I must go. I have some unplanned business I need to take care of. And he bows.
Absolutely.
A full formal court bow, actually. What you probably haven't seen used officially in 200 years, maybe.
Yeah.
And then it's definitely a French court bow at that. And he walks out of the room. And when he steps out of the conference room, he looks at Lily, and his eyes get a little. I have to go.
Can I see you out?
Madam Singer. Oh, if you wish.
Okay. Is everything okay? What can I do?
Nothing. There is nothing you can do,
Okay.
Imogen Singer.
Okay.
This is business I must take care of.
Okay. And I escort him out.
Okay.
That way we take the elevator. It's faster than the stairs.
Okay.
Yep.
And as soon as he gets out front, his car pulls right back up.
Mm-hmm.
And a man gets out, opens the door for him, he hops in it, and the car leaves.
Okay.
Now, of course, she's been left alone in your conference room. You saw Quartermain. Well, you know Quartermain left because the door opened again after he went in.
Yeah. So I go back up to the conference room
Okay.
and ask if there's any other business that she needs to take care of this evening at my club.
You see her just sitting there. I don't think she don't even know what just happened. Okay, so Lily comes back in. Do you basically alone again in the conference room? I'm sure kind of confused as to why you're alone in the conference room again.
So I come back in and I say, I apologize for leaving you alone. I did escort Felix out. Is there anything else that you need to handle in my club this evening?
I wouldn't say that I actually handled my
Oh,
main. Do you know where Mr. Quartermain might have wandered off? It's very. I would say he acted like a stubborn child. Perhaps you know how it would be best to deal with his behavior.
generally I ignore it.
You know he's on the cameras because
Yeah.
he doesn't.
Let me
No,
ask.
did you get the one for? Do you have the obfuscate for camera blocking?
Yeah, I got Ghost in the Machine. I've got
Yeah,
Hide in
so
Plain Sight. I've
the
got
only
all
way
of
they
it.
can track you with the cameras is by the glitch you're leaving, not anything else.
Yeah, if anybody looks closely, I'm standing right by the door.
Okay.
Because if you look through the basement, the special camera downstairs.
Yeah, the special camera that would
Okay.
go. Yeah.
So I step out. I step out of the room and I just say, "Are you still here?"
Maybe.
Okay, I hear that. Go in and talk to her.
I'll drop the obfuscate.
And there he is, standing there before the door. And I'm pretty sure that Lily didn't close the door. The conference door was still open when you walked
No,
out.
I closed it.
You closed
as I
it?
walked
Okay.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a freaking novice. Okay.
I just wanted to know if she saw what was. Okay. And Steve's just looking in the camera room, I'm sure, going,
Right.
"What the fuck is
And-
this?"
What is going on?
And I look and say, "Why did you storm out?"
Well, because my conversation was being interrupted after I said, "Not now."
I understand. There was very little I could do to stop that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's your club. You can stop pretty much anything you want.
Yes, I could, and then we'd start a fucking war with Ventru. Let's not do that.
Politics.
Anyways, I'll go talk to her. But
Okay.
this isn't gonna go good.
And you've been outside the door too, Locke, the whole time, hanging out in the hallway outside the conference room. Hang on, you're muted. There you go.
She's had one headphone in and just kind of watching this all, sitting on the floor, listening to music and just kind of watching this all happen. All this shit that is not her problem yet.
You know what? I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna leave the door open. Everybody can feel free to watch. We can all
I
have
do want to
fun.
come in.
So Steve comes out of the camera room and comes in. Now, entering the room, you've met Lily, you've met Quartermain at this point. You do see, I think Street Rat is still the best description of Locke, isn't it?
She's cleaned up at this point, so grunge is probably
Grunge?
90s grunge is probably
Okay.
the best way. And she has a Hello,
Hello
Kitty,
Kitty.
shirt on today. So, and she's like, she takes out the headphone and stops the CD player and shoves it back in her backpack because now we're doing coterie business.
And then
She gets-
also a man comes up. If it wasn't for the look in his eyes, you would say he's very nondescript. Doesn't look particularly threatening, not big, not, carrying himself like he's planning to kill everybody. But the look in his eyes, you know exactly who that's coming in the room. You know that has to be Steve Perry. You were told about that. And he's peeking in as well.
Yes. Good
So,
evening.
anyways, I owe
evening,
you an
Mrs.
apology.
Oh, he actually greeted. You came fully in the conference room, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Rocco, go.
So, anyway, I owe you an apology.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I forgive you.
Mm.
Shall we take a seat? I believe this now will be a matter of the full coterie.
Oh no, I just left the door open. Anybody who feels like they want to watch can watch.
Ah, so you're
This
so...
is- This is still between you and I.
And Steve's actually in the room at this point, just standing beside the door,
Yeah.
holding the door up. You've learned that from
So-
Locke.
So, go ahead.
I would look actually at Steve because he's inside the room, and I would smile at him. I wouldn't give him the hand, for the shake or anything, because I'm standing a little bit further away, but I still would say, so you must be Mr. Perry.
Yes, I am. And as one of
It's-
the Primogen of DC, I would like to extend welcome to you to DC.
Ah, good manners. I like that.
When you shake his hand, you do notice.
She didn't shake his hand.
Or when
I
you,
didn't.
or
Yeah,
you-
I didn't.
I thought you extended your hand. You didn't.
No.
No,
Okay.
I said I
But you
will
do
not.
notice he has a gold signet ring on his pinky.
Okay. So,
There's something about it that triggers in your mind, but you don't know what.
so when I look him over while I'm greeting him and I notice that ring, I would actually mention, and you do have a taste for jewelry.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. So will you stand here beside the door, or you will just go in and see what kind of business I and Quartermain has?
If I heard the commotion, I thought I would just come to see and extend welcome to you. You as from the court. If my presence is not needed, I will leave.
Well, perhaps your presence might be needed. We will see, I guess. It depends about, I should say, on Quartermain's emotions, I guess. That would be good to,
He can be obstreperous. Yes.
Wow, big words.
indeed.
Fuck you, Steve.
For example,
So shall we take a seat?
I'm sorry.
shall we?
Shall we
Feel
take
free.
a seat?
Yes.
Feel
Yes,
free.
let's-
Sit, if that is what you want.
Does Locke come in, or is she going to stay outside in the hallway?
Locke goes in and she actually will sit, and she will sit next to Quartermain.
I'm standing, so.
So
whatever.
you'll sit in the chair next to where he's standing?
Yeah, fine, fuck it, I'll be polite and sit.
What's Lily doing? Caught between politeness and wanting to know what's going on. Because it's your club, huh?
Yeah.
Come on in, Lily. Don't be shy.
And when he says that, I go on in.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I was going to try to be polite, but you know what?
Hell, everyone else is piled in the room.
Fuck it.
Okay, so
And I sit down.
I would hate to have you fighting your curiosity. I mean,
Okay, so
okay,
I
so
sit down.
there you go. Everyone's sitting
So-
except for Quartermain.
so she's come as a emissary from my sire.
Oh,
Oh.
that's nice.
Yes. So, anyways, you were saying before we were interrupted.
Yes, I was saying that I'm here to make sure that you pay your debt to your sire before you consider yourself a free kindred.
I still don't understand how I owe her a debt.
She gave you a gift you are using quite well, and she made you for a very, very specific task. If you can't complete this task, you can't carry her legacy forward in the years. So
I want to use my etiquette roll on that.
You want to etiquette?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, intelligence etiquette.
Okay.
And you have a...
I have
Spec-
Camarilla specialization.
Okay, go ahead. You can use the specialization because... Hell, you've spent time in Vanabar's court, so...
Yeah, I was there for over 50 years.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6.
And what's your question?
My question is, would I know that as being a tradition within the Camarilla for certain clans?
There are those of the older kindred who
Mm-hmm.
take very seriously the gift of being embraced,
Mm-hmm.
and those who take very seriously the honor owed when the embrace is for a reason. Is it a tradition? No, but it's up to the individual.
Well, I
And-
don't mean tradition
right,
as in official tradition.
Right, it's up to the individual, but Ventru in particular place very strong value on obligation and duty to one's sire and one's position in Camarilla society, directly related to how well you perform and look to your sire.
Would Lily know anything about Camarilla Nos doing that?
Nos have always done what Nos do. Clan before sect. But some of the older Nos, especially if they are in any way, shape, or form descended from a noble family, do believe in honor and duty because, well, they were nobles before. It's not like to stop being a noble birth and raising before they were embraced.
Okay. And I say, and I actually say, can I please ask one question? And I ask if, I say, is Quartermain's sire descended from any nobility?
yes, correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I just look at Quartermain and say, it's a thing.
Yeah, I gathered.
I do not come here as an enemy. Yes, of course, I will have to report every week about your moving forward from now this point. If I'm making myself clear to your sire what you are doing and what you will be doing to find the killer of her last descendant.
I've already found him.
You did.
Yes, I know exactly where he is.
Why you did not done anything about him though? Why you did not inform your sire on the matter?
I didn't realize that I was supposed to do that.
You
I
lost
see
a
that
lot
you-
when Nathan died, didn't you?
Yeah, let me explain to you the situation. I was embraced, left alone. Then the Sabbat moved in, and I was shipped off to California.
I'm so sorry.
Let me finish my story, please. I was shipped off to California. I spent a number of years there, and then I got a blood hunt put on my head and had to move back here and find out that the prince that was dead is not dead anymore. The Sabbat are gone. And there's a new prince in town, or there's a new person who wanted to be prince that was causing a lot of trouble that I had to start sorting out. And yeah, I've had a lot to do since 1985. I was not informed about having to let anyone know about anything. The only thing Nathan told me is that my sire wished me to find Razor. I have found him. That's all the situation. That's all that exists right now.
And you didn't feel need on doing something about the matter. That man is
How
not...
would I do that? How would I do that when I don't even know who or where she is? I have
She's-
no means to communicate with her, no knowledge of her whatsoever. I don't know. Explain to
Oh.
me what kind of magic you would use to find somebody that you don't even know.
If you want to find someone, you usually find someone. But let's just say you didn't do it. That's fine. I am here right now, your contact to your sire.
Hmm.
And let me know what you want to say to her. You should definitely let me know more details.
I have a lot to say to her.
Jesus.
Of
I
course.
literally.
Do you want to say that in front of these viewers, or do you want to have a more private meeting later in the week?
How about she come and talk to me herself?
That, I'm sorry, will be not possible. She's way too occupied back in Europe.
Oh yeah.
Yes, because you know her sire woke up finally from his long sleep. Yes, Katie, I saw the hand go up.
No, she's actually raising her hand in.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Locke.
I hate phrasing and specific word usage. I just want to clarify on a particular phrase, which would be not being allowed to carry her legacy. Does that mean like killing him?
I
I'm new to
haven't
court.
said that.
I know. I'm just curious about. I mean, I'm not taking it as a threat. Just looking at the whole situation and trying. I'm new to court. I'm very new.
I don't think that you should focus on this matter right now, since the man has informed that he completed actually, well, a part of the task. So now we just need to make sure that he would find a communication with his sire, and the rest would be as well completed. Like, the duty would be fulfilled, and, well then, my own duty will be done as well.
Okay, I found him. What now?
Where is he? Who is
He's-
he? I need the details.
His name is Razor. He's here in the city.
Well, if you haven't heard, I come from Europe. He is in this city. It's not very clear definition.
Hmm. I'll be in touch with him soon.
In touch with him.
Yes.
How in touch?
I am sure I will be speaking with him in person soon.
All right. Well, I will want to have all the details about your conversation with him. I believe your sire will be most interested in hearing it. Anything else?
I have nothing else.
Very well. So we will agree that we will stay in touch. You will report me about your meeting with that man, and we will find an answer from your sire what exactly should be your further steps.
Are you going to communicate with her in the near future?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Tell her I found him. Tell her his name's Razor. Tell her Tell her what would it be? Grand nephew? It's his ghoul.
Grandnephew? Yeah, something like that.
His great nephew, her great whatever, is his ghoul. Willingly.
That's not something you were aware of for sure.
Well, that actually complicates the situation.
You do know
I
that
have a feeling.
her descendant
I
had
have
a
a feeling
half-brother.
that he's involved in the entire thing.
Yeah, you did know that her descendant had a half-brother, and you assumed that's who he's talking about, but you did not know that he was in any way, shape, or form a ghoul, because Quartermain's sire did not know that either. But you know there was a half-brother, but the sire did not consider it that important because it was a half-brother and not the half that would have been descended directly down the line. So it's not a pure descendant as far as the sire would be concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But you did not know that it was the killer's ghoul.
As I said, that complicates the situation, but I did not come here as your enemy or more. I came here to help you, to finish everything, so we will see what we can do about that.
Really? How are you going to help me?
I can help you in many ways, but I will not define them yet. Well, I believe this meeting is over. I imagine that your main contact my contact with you will be through Miss Sanger here.
I shrug. Be like,
I give her the card I have with my number on it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And to reach his sire, you actually are using, there's a diplomatic envoy, that passage through the diplomatic satchels messages back and forth for you, because that nobody can look into those satchels Second Inquisition wise to find out what's being said. That's the securest method, honestly, of communicating to anyone in Europe anymore. Is you can't touch the diplomatic satchels of another nation.
Miss Baranova, may I escort you down to your car?
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay. And she leads you down. You take the stairs or the elevator?
We'll take the elevator.
Okay. You're not giving her the tour of the place, huh?
Well,
Interesting.
actually, I think I will.
Okay.
I'll give her the tour.
Okay. Take her to show her the VIP level. And it lives up to its name as a succubus club. It does. The VIP level is very high class, good taste to it. Overlooks the main common area, so that those up on the top can look down on the crowd below, but the crowd below can't really get a firm glimpse as to what's going on in the VIP. It's like forever out of their reach from the lower levels. You do catch sight of the catwalk that walks around the entire rim of the top of the building, to where it'd be very easy to watch the whole place with the lights blocking anyone seeing who's on the catwalk. Because right now most of the lights are off. It's only like 1 in 3 are on because the club's not open. Mm-hmm. You see a lot of security cameras. There are security cameras everywhere. In this place. Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes. But you're not taken to the front door. You're actually led to a garage. Mm-hmm. Through the kitchen to a garage area where your vehicle is parked. With your driver, of course, and your ghoul waiting for you.
I ask her on the walk as I'm, showing the
Go
club
ahead.
and explaining the facilities
have your
and
discussions.
stuff. Okay, so and I ask and I say, please, I'd like to ask you something, but please do tell me, if you don't want to tell me, I completely understand, and tell me it's none of my business, and I will never bring it up again. What did you say to Felix that upset him so?
Well, I simply expressed my concern about his choice in his servants.
What about it? I've met Stephen. He seems like a fairly nice fellow. A little rough around the edges, but generally mannered.
You would call him... No, he's a very brutish man in his exterior, and carrying a chainsaw? This is ridiculous.
Why would you think that that is Felix's manservant?
My dear, I have met Mr. LaRue back in Europe, and I would never forget his family sigil. That man was wearing it on his chainsaw.
Oh, I see. Yes, that would be very concerning. Absolutely. Okay, that makes sense now. I understand why Felix was so bothered by that. Thank you. Thank you.
Indeed.
I am a member of the Primogen Council, so I do have to be a little concerned about my fellow council members at times.
Of course, I know that. The prince was generous to introduce me to all the important names in the city.
Oh, very good. Very good. He is efficient. So.
And let me tell that your club is simply magnificent.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I was inspired by a few kindred I met along the way here.
Ah, where did you come from, if I may?
California.
Ah, California. So not that far away as I did.
No. Unfortunately, I am American born and bred.
Great. Well, I believe that we will have more than one opportunity to get to know each other,
Absolutely.
but I have to go now.
And here is your card.
Yep, and
Thank you.
it's parked in the garage. It's a nice sized garage. You see, actually, we're back up to full 4 of them. All of them are in service now. Large black SUVs. There's 2 Cadillacs. Actually, no, all 4 Cadillacs.
All 4 Cadillacs.
Yeah, all 4 Cadillacs sitting right there, lined up. The bumper on the last one finally got repaired, so it's all back to normal. Tinted windows. I mean, it's nice. It's definitely a good vehicle if you move with groups of people rather than 1 or 2.
All right. And so I walk back in after she gets in her car.
And then the door opens, the garage door opens once you get in the vehicle and lets you get out.
I go back up to the conference room.
Okay.
So when they left,
Mm-hmm.
I close the door
Okay.
and start cursing up a storm.
Mm-hmm. That sounds legit.
when
100% legit.
it's done, lock slow claps. Why are you like this?
What does this mean?
I mean, it. Are we gonna have to kill him? Do you think?
Who?
Razor.
Me? Razor? You know what? I don't care. It's like I don't owe this bitch anything.
I mean, I agree. As somebody who also did not get a fucking choice.
Basically somebody who, I did have no choice, literally. I was killed, basically. And I owe her a gift. You know what? This isn't really a gift, necessarily. Yes, I'm alive and not dead because of the cancer I used to have. However, this isn't much of a life, really, is it?
I mean, it has its moments.
Yeah, it definitely has its moments.
I mean, can't we just give her what she wants and then she goes away?
Well, apparently I did. I found him. Bingo,
well, there you
done.
go. I guess, just if we have a more accurate location, then
whatever.
hand that over.
I'm not inclined to. Here's the thing. If it comes down to killing him, I was at one time in my life contemplating killing him. However, he's not necessarily as bad as.
He skins people.
No, he doesn't skin people. He was skinned.
He's a mass murdering fuckhead.
Yeah, he's a mass murdering fuckhead, but he also understands what we're about and helped us with the Inquisition.
And that's where Lily walks in the conference room, right with that part.
You gave the ring to Glenn.
Yeah, why?
Felix knows now.
Oh, good. That's awesome. I don't care.
Oh, fucking shit, Quartermain. You're going to at minimum lose your job.
Why? Why?
Didn't
exactly
the prince
why?
not want people to know he wanted you to do that? So it wouldn't get back to Felix.
The prince said kill the man. I killed the man.
Did the prince tell you to keep his name out of it?
His name
Ow.
isn't in it.
His name isn't even in it.
You told me he ordered you to. And if Glenn
Wait.
has the ring, it's going
Did
to
I
be pretty
actually tell
obvious
you
the
that?
chain. You
Yes, you did. The
Did
night that you
did I
killed
actually tell you
Stephen.
that?
Yeah,
Yep.
you did.
You told
Okay.
the whole coterie that the
Okay.
prince ordered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now
I mean-
Felix, he took off in a huff because
So,
Miss Barinova saw his signet on Glenn's chainsaw.
are you gonna tell him
Am I going to tell him what?
that I did it and the prince asked me
Fuck
to
no. Fuck no.
do it? Well, then what's the problem?
Fine. You know what? If you want to be ignorant to all this and think everything's going to be fine, good luck. And I walk out.
It's kind of funny. She says to Corner as soon as she's gone.
Oh, when I heard
And
it, it was
I'm muttering
hysterical.
out the door, fucking kindred and their goddamn stupid trophies. And I literally walk out.
You feel slightly attacked by that, don't you, Locke?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Because you happen to be
I
wearing
like-
a trophy.
I like my trophy.
But I'm already out of the room, so.
I know.
If I remember the conversation correctly, the prince never mentioned keeping his name out of it. He just said, if you happen to run into
No.
Steven.
No, he did.
Actually, he did. He specifically informed you not to tell anyone that he ordered these kills, that he ordered Stephen's death, because he didn't want Felix
Oh, well.
to know about it.
Oh well, guess I'm dust. Don't care.
Why are you like this?
What? I'm a little angry right now. How about you?
And does Locke fill in what her meeting was about tonight?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Lily's not in the
so,
room, though.
I don't care.
Fuck. I'll catch her later.
Okay.
So anyway, I talked to Tabitha. She didn't frenzy. She's caught up on the whole situation, but she said something interesting, which is just kind of a tidbit that kind of pulls it all together. Remember the orphans we saw? These
Well,
Sabbat
not
orphans?
Steve saw.
Not we.
Yeah.
Steve. Remember those?
Yes, I do. Unfortunately.
Apparently, they were from the Sabbat War. Tabitha happened upon them after they had killed everyone, all the adults in the orphanage, and she had to take care of the situation.
How do you mean take care of?
Kill all of them.
Oh, that kind of take care of.
Yeah, that kind of take care of.
Okay.
Oh, is this why she doesn't fight any longer?
Yeah. I'm
Oh.
working on it.
Poor little broken thing.
Fuck. I'm working on it. I'm
Are we
working.
sure
I
his
mean,
humanity's
we're
not
gonna
bad?
lose.
That
We
was
lost
bad.
Melissa, which she was a walk-in masquerade violation that was gonna come eventually. So.
Well,
I'm-
wait a minute. Was Melissa one of those orphans?
No, I don't think so. I think she had a different story and
No,
a different
yeah,
timeline.
the timeline
She's
doesn't
not
line
just
up.
20 years old.
Yeah, because you've been
Okay.
told that Melissa's been around for 100 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um,
All right. well.
So, but Melissa's dust. Like,
Well, we don't know for sure. I still need to talk to Victoria, but
yeah. I mean, do you want me there when you talk to her? I mean, I
I
personally.
don't care. I really don't. I mean, I'm not gonna berate her or anything. I'm just gonna ask her if she did it. So.
I'm mostly gonna ask if it's just done, so I can kind of close that file.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we still.
I
have
did leave,
problems-
Bill. I did leave a message with the bartender, right?
Of the club where Victoria is, you didn't say you were
Yeah.
going to, but I'll make a note, and you've.
I thought I did. I
don't remember,
Okay.
but we can go. You did, because it's
Yeah.
a simple thing to have just left a message for the bartender.
On the
Yeah,
way to
and
my
not
place.
it's
Yeah.
urgent. Just a standard. Would like to see you.
Okay.
And we still got to take care of her children, whatever.
Well,
it
we
is.
do. Again, we don't really know the situation there, but yeah, if we
I
find
have-
them again.
I have a lukewarm confirmation that she is the sire of those two.
How?
I talked to Tabitha and Art, and before shit blew up and this just wasn't a priority. I talked to Tabitha and Art, and they, when I mentioned the names, they both kind of were a little like, oh fuck, that kind of thing. Because apparently not Tabitha, Melissa had been talking about her imaginary friends by those names, and everything lined up, and just too many things lined up.
Well, the child wouldn't have said imaginary friend. A child would not have said that. A child would have said friend.
Her friend, and that, I guess the assumption on Tabitha and Art's part was imaginary, and I was like, yeah, maybe you should have checked up on that. But they're weird. It's like, oh, she's older, she's fine. I'm like, she's 7. I don't fucking gangrels. So anyway.
Yeah, and nobody has told you anything about Melissa, by the way. Jack Conarina? You don't know anything. If it ever comes up later, so you know, just to prep you at it, you've never been told a damn thing from anybody about Melissa.
Yeah, so Melissa is...
Melissa. Okay. The little girl.
I just want to confirm. That's it.
Because we know how the European kindred would feel about a 7-year-old.
I got to get back and look at that house.
And all this time, I'm paying particular attention to the chair where Ekaterina had been sitting, although Venture nowhere near as bad as Tremere. They are information merchants. So...
Well, did you leave any kind of thing behind in that chair you were sitting in, or? Nope. So it's just a chair. These people were paranoid.
Why didn't you get up and check it if you were worried about that, huh?
I am checking it.
Yeah, presumably while we're doing our download.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. Just some interesting stuff, and I'm gonna very quickly check my notes to make sure I didn't leave anything out.
God damn it.
No, there's nothing there. She didn't leave anything.
This is exactly what I needed.
I mean, it's jobs.
You know what? You know what? No. See, the thing is that it was just. Oh, whatever.
And apparently Art's turning into a real asshole, but he's going to see Dorian tonight.
Well, apparently Art used to be a real asshole, and now he's just getting back to being himself.
Yeah. So he's going to Dorian, though, so presumably that'll get fixed.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No, that's done.
Done? How do you know it's done?
I know things.
I know
Boss, what do you know?
I know someone.
I heard that it wasn't I heard that it wasn't possible any longer.
Cool. Awesome. Do we know anybody? Oh.
So are all you gonna tell Felix about me killing Steven?
No.
Not unless it comes up. No.
Okay. Not unless it comes up.
Wow. Holy shit.
Wow.
No, we're not going to say anything.
I will not say anything.
I honestly don't care, but just checking.
I care. I'm the only person that fucking cares about anything in this coterie.
Yeah, because Torador doesn't give a flying fuck.
That is 100% correct.
That is 100% correct.
The Gangrel is the feeler of the group.
I have feels.
Oh, trust me, I'm feeling a whole lot right now.
Yeah, he's feeling the rage.
Feeling a bus.
Normally Quartermain doesn't express a whole lot of emotion, but right now he is furious.
Yeah.
And we've never seen, I don't think that anyone in this coterie has ever seen you just lose it and start swearing.
Mm-hmm.
Though Lily missed all that, no one else has seen you ever lose it. Actually, they've never seen you lose your temper.
Victoria. I want to be there during the conference just to make sure that she knows that we're copacetic, that we're fine. Because I don't want her thinking I'm enemy number one. I talked Tabitha down from going after her, because that would be stupid. Extraordinarily stupid.
Yeah.
I have nothing else. Oh, have you heard from your real estate guy? Or your public works guy who does buildings?
I'm sorry, I don't think I reached out about that. I will do that right now.
Okay.
And I will reach out to, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, your guy that works at the Department of Public Works, your contact? Okay.
Yeah.
Looking for properties that might be easy to...
Yeah, anything that might be easy to pick up in the DuPont Circle area, not DuPont Circle, Adams Morgan area.
Yep. Okay. So I think this is right here where we're going to end for tonight, this session.
I do, after I walk out, the only one little thing I'm going to do is I tell Ian to watch the new cameras that were installed for owls.
Okay.
Large owls. And let me know as soon as one's seen.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, this is where we're going to end. And the Kindred of DC and Kindred in general, they build grand houses and grand plans. And sometimes outside events happen that begin to take a toll on that. Kindred like Tabitha, who's built a life or an unlife around art and a little girl. The little girl's gone. Art, she's losing. All she has left is Locke, who was the child that she didn't own up to for years even.
24 fucking years.
And in cases like this, you know, it's a house, but it's a house of cards. And it doesn't take much to knock them over. And at the same time, now that Felix knows that Glenn, who was staked at the time of the riots as Stephen's ring, what is Felix going to do? Is he going to do something brash and try to go after the prince directly? A futile attempt, but will Rage do it? The Ventru are known to be loyal to those who were loyal to them, at least for a time. But like all kindred, loyalties sometimes end in the pursuit of power. So I would like to thank everyone who came, and I'd love to thank our special guest because that was awesome.
Minta, you did a great job,
Amazing.
dear.
That was awesome.
That was such a great old school Ventru.
And Quartermain, that was amazing. That scene between you two, that was fucking amazing. I loved finally seeing Quartermain, who hasn't shown emotion, to that emotion coming out of him.
He lost his shit.
He lost his shit finally.
It was awesome.
And it was an awesome scene. And
Good
great
job.
Thank you, Minta. I'm sorry for yelling at you.
That's fine. That's fine.
It was a great scene.
It was very tense.
And I'm glad
I hope I
that
didn't
you
hurt
could make it.
anybody's ears.
No, I have a limiter on you. You can't hurt their ears. Everyone has a limiter they can't get but too loud. Because we sometimes yell a bit louder than we should. And as always, of course.
Yeah, thank you for bringing up my lousy, no good sire, who hasn't bothered showing her face to me since I was bit.
Well, Nathan did tell you that she had to go back because her sire was waking, which is a hint that she
No
takes sire to
fucking
child.
cares in the world about that.
I know. Quartermain does.
I understand a little bit. I understand a little bit about what Locke went through as far as being abandoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But
had Nathan.
I did have a surrogate father. Yeah.
You had Nathan, and Locke had Rudy. So
I had Rudy for like 2 weeks,
that was enough.
to be fair.
Rudy
It was enough.
Patootie.
So I'd like to point out, of course, if you like this kind of content, you like vampires and RPG, check out the chat. We've got. I'm not citing them all anymore because our friends list has gotten rather large. So just check it out and look at it. Okay. We're proud Gehenna Gaming affiliates. The links will be over in the chat. Go over, pop into the Discord, come to McStabber's Lounge, talk shit, call me names. Talk with Lily about it. Talk with any of the players. Our Locke's on there now. Steve Perry checks rarely. Lily's on there.
Talk to me at me.
Yeah.
He wants something at her.
Minta pops in too, so you can,
Yeah.
you know, if you want to talk to her about her performance and what she was thinking with her character behind the scenes, you could there. But it was an awesome guest appearance. I loved it.
It was great.
It's setting the story for some great story in the future, of course. And if, you know, we don't require it, there's no benefits for being a subscriber. But if you want to subscribe to us, go ahead. You know, it'll go towards improving the stream. We still haven't been paid out yet. We haven't made enough yet to be
No.
paid out, but because
We're not doing this to get rich, guys.
Yeah, you have,
promise.
to, you have to get a certain amount before they'll start paying you one check at a time. But whatever, we're not pressed about it. Check us out on YouTube if you want to catch the back episodes. They're all on YouTube now.
Yeah.
And
And the link will be in chat, guys.
yep. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming and thank all the players and the guests. This was a great session. I had a blast. A lot of odd things and revelations that came out. And see everybody next time.